History is full of moments when the fate of a nation changes overnight. Sometimes it happens through revolutions, sometimes through wars, and sometimes through the quiet rise of a man who has spent his entire life preparing for power in the shadows. In the heart of the Middle East lies a country that has shaped global politics for decades. A country of ancient empires, deep religious traditions, and intense political struggles. That country is Iran. For more than 30 years, one man stood at the center of Iran's political universe. His name was Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. From 1989 onward, he controlled the military, the courts, the intelligence services, and the direction of the nation itself. But as the years passed and his power grew, another figure slowly emerged behind the scenes. A man who rarely appeared in public. A man who avoided the spotlight. A man who many believed was quietly building influence inside the most powerful institutions of Iran. His name was Mojtaba Khamenei. To understand his story, we must travel back to the beginning. Mojtaba Khamenei was born in 1969 in the city of Mashhad, one of the holiest cities in the Shiite Muslim world. At the time of his birth, Iran was still ruled by a monarchy under Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Just 10 years later, everything changed. In 1979, the Iranian Revolution erupted.
Millions of people filled the streets, demanding the fall of the Shah. The monarchy collapsed, and a new political system was born under the leadership of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. This revolution created the Islamic Republic of Iran. It was not just a change of government, it was a transformation of society, religion, and power. Mojtaba grew up inside this revolutionary environment. His father, Ali Khamenei, was already a prominent cleric and a close ally of the revolutionary leadership. Over time, Ali Khamenei rose through the ranks of the new government. He became president of Iran in 1981. Then, in 1989, after the death of Ayatollah Khomeini, something remarkable happened. Ali Khamenei was chosen to become the new supreme leader of Iran. This position made him the most powerful figure in the country. The supreme leader is not simply a political leader. He is the ultimate authority over Iran's military forces, its intelligence services, its judiciary system, and its religious institutions. From that moment forward, the Khamenei family was placed at the center of Iran's power structure. For young Mojtaba, life inside this environment meant growing up surrounded by politics, religion, and strategy. But unlike many children of powerful leaders, he did not pursue a public political career. Instead, he chose a quieter path. Mojtaba moved to the religious city of Qom, where he began studying Islamic theology. Qom is considered the intellectual center of Shiite religious scholarship. It is home to some of the most respected clerics and seminaries in the Muslim world. Here, Mojtaba trained to become a cleric himself. But many observers believe that while he studied religion, he was also building relationships with people who held real power behind the scenes. One of the most important of these institutions was the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, often called the IRGC.
The Revolutionary Guard was created after the 1979 revolution to protect the new Islamic system. Over time, it grew into one of the most powerful military organizations in the Middle East. The OG controls elite military units, missile programs, intelligence networks, and even large sections of Iran's economy. To understand Iran's power structure, one must understand the influence of the Revolutionary Guard. And according to many analysts, Mojtaba Khamenei developed close ties with this powerful organization. During the early 2000s, Mojtaba's name began appearing more frequently in political discussions inside Iran. Although he still held no official government position, insiders claimed that he was becoming an important figure behind the scenes. Some reports suggested that he played a role in political decision-making. Others believed he acted as a bridge between the Supreme Leader's office and the Revolutionary Guard. However, Mojtaba himself remained largely invisible to the public. He rarely gave interviews. He avoided media appearances. Even photographs of him were difficult to find. This mystery only increased curiosity about his influence.
In that election, the incumbent president Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was declared the winner, but millions of Iranians believed the election had been manipulated. Large protests erupted across the country. Demonstrators filled the streets demanding transparency and political reform. This movement became known as the Green Movement. It was one of the largest challenges to the Iranian government since the Revolution of 1979. Security forces responded with a harsh crackdown. Protests were suppressed. Activists were arrested. Media outlets were restricted. During this time, rumors began circulating that Mojtaba Khamenei had played an important role in coordinating the government's response. Some opposition figures accused him of helping organize the security strategy that ended the protests. The Iranian government never confirmed these claims, but the rumors strengthened the perception that Mojtaba was becoming a powerful figure inside the political system. From that moment onward, many analysts began asking an unusual question. Was Mojtaba Khamenei preparing to become the next supreme leader of Iran? This question was controversial. The Islamic Republic was created to replace monarchy with a religious republic. Leadership was supposed to be chosen by religious scholars, not passed down through families. Yet the idea that power might move from father to son began appearing more often in political discussions. He had grown up inside the center of power. He had connections with religious leaders, and he had relationships with the Revolutionary Guard. Critics, however, warned that such a transition would transform Iran into something closer to a political dynasty. For many years, this debate remained theoretical. Ali Khamenei was still alive and firmly in control of the country. But as time passed, his age became a growing concern. Born in 1939, the supreme leader was entering his 80s. Speculation about succession became increasingly common among political analysts. Inside Iran's political system, the responsibility for choosing the next supreme leader belongs to an institution called the Assembly of Experts. This body consists of senior clerics who are responsible for selecting and supervising the supreme leader. If the position becomes vacant, the Assembly of Experts must choose a new leader. For years, discussions about possible successors remained secret. Names of potential candidates circulated quietly among political observers. And once again, Mojtaba Khamenei's name continued to appear on that list. Some believed he had the support of influential figures inside the Revolutionary Guard. Others believed senior clerics might oppose him because of the risk of creating a family dynasty for decades. The question remained unanswered, but history has a way of changing suddenly. Events can move faster than anyone expects, and when they do, the balance of power inside a nation can transform overnight. In the coming chapters of this story, the world would witness one of the most dramatic moments in modern Iranian politics. A moment that would shake the Middle East. A moment that would bring Mojtaba Khamenei out of the shadows and place him at the center of global attention. Because sometimes, the quietest figures in history are the ones who eventually step into the spotlight when the world least expects it. And when they do, the consequences can reshape the future of an entire region. And so, for years, Mojtaba Khamenei remained a mysterious figure standing quietly behind the curtain of power. He held no official government office. He rarely appeared in public. He almost never spoke to the media. Yet inside the complex machinery of Iran's political system, his name continued to appear again and again in private conversations among insiders, analysts, and political observers. Some believed he was simply a trusted advisor to his father, leader, Ali Khamenei. Others believed something far more significant was happening. They believed Mojtaba was slowly building the alliances and influence necessary to one day inherit the most powerful position in the Islamic Republic. If that ever happened, it would represent something unprecedented. The Islamic Republic of Iran was born from a revolution that overthrew a monarchy. The entire purpose of the 1979 revolution was to replace hereditary rule with a religious republic led by scholars and institutions, not royal families. But if leadership passed from father to son, critics warned that the system could begin to resemble the very monarchy the revolution had once destroyed. Supporters saw the situation differently. They argued that Mojtaba understood the inner workings of the system better than anyone. He had spent his entire life inside the center of Iran's political and religious power. He knew the clerical networks. He knew the security institutions. And most importantly, he had connections with the powerful military organization known as the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. To many supporters, that combination made him uniquely prepared to protect the stability of the Islamic Republic. But for years, this debate remained only speculation, because the man at the center of the system, the supreme leader himself, was still firmly in control. Ali Khamenei had ruled Iran since 1989, guiding the country through wars, sanctions, international confrontations, and internal unrest. Yet time moves forward for every leader. By the early 21st century, he had entered his 80s. And quietly, behind closed doors, the most powerful clerical institution in the country, the Assembly of Experts, understood that one day they would have to make a historic decision. Who would lead Iran next? For years, the answer remained hidden inside private meetings and secret political calculations. The outside world could only guess. Names of possible successors circulated in whispers among analysts and political insiders. But again and again, One name continued to return to the center of those conversations: Mojtaba Khamenei. For decades, the question remained unanswered. Would the quiet man in the shadows ever step into the light? Or would Iran's leadership pass to someone else entirely? Then suddenly, events began to move faster than anyone expected. Moments would arrive that could reshape the future of the Middle East. Moments that would force Iran's political system to make one of the most consequential decisions in its modern history. And when that moment finally came, the man who had spent his life away from the spotlight would find himself standing at the center of global attention. Because sometimes the most powerful figures in history are not the ones who seek the spotlight. They are the ones who wait patiently in the shadows until history calls them forward. And when that moment arrives, the balance of power in an entire region can change overnight. In the next chapter of this story, a dramatic crisis will shake Iran's leadership to its core, a crisis that will force the nation's most powerful institutions to make a decision that could redefine the future of the Islamic Republic. And it is in that moment that the world will finally see whether Mojtaba Khamenei was truly destined to become the next supreme leader of Iran.